What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 7, Stacia and Nate. So they go to each other's apartment to see how the other half lives and to also get some personal belongings to put into the apartment that they're going to be sharing together. So when we went to Stacia's apartment, nothing could have prepared me for what I saw when it came to Stacia's apartment. Now, Stacia had already forewarned us before that her apartment is uncomfortably neat. People have told her that her apartment is uncomfortably neat. And that, of course, conjures up ideas of not feeling comfortable, not feeling welcomed, not feeling homey at all, and that's exactly what we got. So her apartment was it. It was so neat and so clean. It was almost to the point of it like being completely bare. I was wondering, like, is this apartment empty? Because there's nothing in that apartment. All she had was the basic, which was like she had her furniture. The colors were very muted. Everything was very understated. It was very minimalist. The kitchen looked bare, empty. Her apartment has no warmth. It doesn't give you a feeling of, being invited. You don't get a comfy feeling in her apartment. Absolutely nothing. Her apartment had no personal effects, anything to show her personality, unless bareness, grayness, nothingness is her personality. But there was nothing in her apartment that said, this is Stacia. Stacia lives here, or for that matter, anybody lives there. Because if you walked into that apartment and didn't know exactly what the hell was going on, you would not know if anybody lived there, if a man lived there, if a woman lived there, if a family lived there, were there children there, were there pets there. You would have no clue because there's absolutely no personal effects in that apartment from what I can remember. Now, of course, I was busy writing my notes and watching TV and writing my notes. Maybe I missed something. Maybe she did have some personal effects in there, but every time that my eyeballs turned up to look at my television screen, there was nothing in her apartment that was inviting, that showed. I don't know if there was any paintings on the wall or any kind of decoration or home decor, just absolutely nothing to show her personality. Now, when they went into her bedroom, she had one of those little breakfast trays. If you want to, eat in bed, she had those breakfast tray things sitting on her bed, and she said that it was for decoration. And I thought that that was very odd because of anything that she could have chosen to decorate her bed, she chose something that was hard, something that was no way to really maneuver around it. You either had to pick it up and remove it, but and she wanted it on the bed. I think Nate even tried to move it, and she wanted that breakfast tray on the bed. And it's sort of like a warning. It was like a warning or a sign telling people, stay away, stay clear, don't touch my bed, my bed is not inviting, my bed is not comfortable. Because a bed is supposed to be like, anytime you see a really nicely made bed, it kind of makes you kind of want to like lay on it, not necessarily mess up the covers or the pillows or anything, but if it looks very, very comfortable, you're tempted to just kind of lay on it and spread yourself out on it. That was not her bed at all, because she had that damn breakfast tray on it. So it was like she was trying to make it look as less inviting as possible, like the rest of her damn apartment. And it's so neat, so organized, so clean, so bare. I don't know what that there's a psychology behind that type of arrangement of your home. There's a psychology behind that. Now, I've always been told that people who are so super organized with their surroundings, everything has to be orderly, neat. It's almost like it's to the point of being OCD or very militant about it, that they're so obsessed with everything has to be completely neat. No speck of dust. Not a single dirty dish can be seen. Nothing can be out of place. So every single throw pillow has to be put in its proper place. That these people they probably have a lot of chaos going on within. There's something going on in their personal lives that they cannot control, but their surroundings they can control, and so they control it to the point of it being almost abnormal or unnatural, because there's something else happening with them that's out of their control. So they find their sense of control in their surroundings and making everything so obsessively neat and clean. So I don't know if that's what that's saying about Stacia. I have no idea, but I've been told that several times throughout my life. So it just did not look inviting. It was a nice space. It was really nice. But it just, like, when you walk in there, you just automatically feel tension. You automatically feel uncomfortable. Like, does she even really want me here? Is she purposely doing this to keep people out? Is this her way of distancing herself from people? She doesn't want anybody in this personal space of hers, so she makes it so damn uncomfortable and so damn uninviting. So, yeah, I think I've said a lot about Stasia's apartment. Then they go to Nate's apartment, and there was nothing much to say there. Obviously, he's nowhere near as neat and clean as she is. I don't think anybody on earth is. Not even like science labs or surgery rooms and hospitals. So they go to Nate's apartment, and the first thing she does like a full inspection of his whole entire apartment. She's in the kitchen, she's in the bathroom, she's in the living room, she's opening up cupboards, opening up the refrigerator. She is all over the place. And she notices that he has a lot of empty, this is like, what is the psychology behind this? He has a lot of empty, oatmeal containers. Those canisters that the Quaker Oats come in. He has like 3, 4, 5 of them in his cabinet for some reason. So he keeps empty oatmeal containers. I don't know what the hell that says about him. And I think she also found 2 stained wine glasses in his cupboard, which was also very strange and crazy. I don't know if it was like a last minute thing when they found out that they were going to be filming in their apartment. And so he didn't even have time to rinse or wash. So he just stuck them in the cabinet. I don't understand what was going on there, but there were 2 wine glasses in the cupboard that had wine stains or wine residue on the bottom of them. And I thought that was absolutely disgusting. So that's that. Then Pastor Cal comes to pay them a visit at their apartment. And so at the beginning of the visit, they say that, that marriage feels really good. And his goal for marriage is to be on the same page, to have the same vision, to be, what did he call it? To build an empire with her, or to be like couple royalty or something like that. So he has this very elevated views of marriage and partnerships. Like, he wants to be the king and queen. He wants her to be the king and queen, her and him to be the king and queen. He wants them to be, I don't know, like very lofty, ambitious type of descriptions he gave about marriage. And her goal for marriage is to be financially free and to create generational wealth. That also to me was kind of a strange answer when it came to your goals for marriage. I understand if that's your financial goal. I just didn't see how that connected to marriage. When you think about marriage, you think about love, devotion, commitment, happiness. But she says she wants to be financially free and to create generational wealth. Stacia says that she's okay with his salary. He makes about $150,000 a year. She makes about $415,000 a year. So she makes almost $500,000 a year. I don't know if that's a lot of money in California because the cost of living is so high. So I don't know if that's average in California or if that's like way above average. Because I know where I'm at, if you're making $450,000 a year, yeah, you're banking. You're making really good money. That's like top tier CEO level, director level, a partner in a major law firm level. You're the director of surgery or whatever in a hospital. I mean, that's high income, but I don't know how far $450,000 stretches in the state of California. Then they talk about children. They talk about, is Nate ready to be a dad? I think that his answer was sort of, it wasn't very clear. It was very ambiguous. Like, he's not really sure if he wants to be a dad or if he wants to be a dad anytime soon. Now, you're with a woman who's slightly older. I'm way older than her, so I'm not calling her old by any means, but her biological clock is definitely ticking. It's not broken, it's not dead, but it's definitely ticking. So Nate, we have to really have a conversation about whether or not you want to have children. First of all, do you want children? And second of all, when? So Pastor Cal says that, you're not thinking like a married person, because he said that he'll be ready to have children once he's able to earn $250,000 a year. And she earns way more than that. And so Nate was like, I mean, not Nate, Pastor Cal was like, that's not really jiving, because you're thinking in terms of yourself and your goals when you need to think about you and her together as a partnership who are in this marriage together and what your goals are collectively. And, with your salary and her salary, y'all have surpassed that. So what's T? Like, what's going on here? You can't think of yourself as an individual when you're in a partnership. So y'all have already met the requirement of the salary. So why, like, why do you have to, like, that didn't make any sense to me for him to be like, well, I need to make a certain amount of money in order for us to have children, when she's already making that sort of money and she's ready to have children now. Why should she wait until you get and it's so, you don't know when you're going to make that type of money, if it's going to happen, how realistic it is, you don't know. So why would you take something as important as having children and make it dependent on something that's so unpredictable and so flimsy of, I have to make X amount, because you don't know when or how or if that's ever going to happen. But the decision of having children hinges on that. That just didn't make any sense. So then they talked about intimacy. And they haven't consummated their marriage yet. Stacia says that she wants to be in love with him. She wants to feel like a special connection with him, a closeness with him. And Pastor Cal asked her, when are you going to know that you are in love with him? And she says, when she can't get enough of him and she can overlook the small stuff. That's, I guess, her definition of love. I'm surprised Pastor Cal didn't say, love is a choice and not a feeling. Pastor Cal then tells Nate that he needs to be more open and he needs to go a lot deeper. So they really hounded Nate on this. He wasn't being deep enough. He was being very, very surface. That, especially when it came to his mother and the relationship that he had with his mother, or lack of. Stacia says that she wants to know everything about that. When did you lose your mom? Why did you lose your mom? How did you feel when your mom left? Because he said later on, he told her that to talk about feelings about his mother, it's difficult for him because he doesn't have feelings for her. So how can he talk about his feelings for her when he has no feelings for her? And so Stacia was like, that the one thing that they have in common is that they're each missing a parent. His mother left, her father left. And she said that Nate had mentioned to her that he understands how she feels because he's in the same predicament where one of his parents is no longer in his life. And so Stacia says, how can he know how I feel about this when he claims he has no feelings for his own mother, but she has a lot of feelings about her dad? Because she talked about how the thought of her dad not being there, is devastating for her. It's another half of her that she'll never get to know. And Nate is just sort of like, I don't feel anything for my mom. I have no feelings for her. She's out of my life. It's no big deal. I've moved on. So they don't have that in common. Yes, they're both missing a parent, but he can't understand how she feels when he claims that he has no feelings at all. So she really wants him to go deeper with his feelings, go deep down inside of his soul. And he said that he's going to try to work on that. So my final thoughts on Stacia and Nate. I think Nate has a lot of growing to do to reach her level. I also think that Stacia, and when I say to reach her level, I mean to reach her level of emotion, commitment, feelings, all that other stuff. I think right now he's probably in deep like with Stacia. I'm just not really buying that he's having this deep connection with her. He claims that he is, but I think he just knows how to say the right things. But I just I don't see it yet that he's like deeply falling in love with her or growing or developing strong emotions for her. I just don't see that yet. He's getting there. He's working towards that. I just don't see it at this moment. I think Stacia, I don't know if not having her dad in her life is making her really yearn for having some type of a male figure that she can connect with on a deeper level. And so that's why it seems like to me that I don't know, she's more into him than he is into her. I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to figure them out. I'm still trying to figure this couple out. I don't think she'd be devastated if he left tomorrow. I don't think it would devastate her at all. But I think that she sees a lot of potential in him, and she sees what they could be, and she's focused on that, and she wants to work towards that. Whereas I think with Nate, I think for him it's just like a day by day kind of thing. I think he digs her, he likes her, he finds her attractive, he cares for her as a person. I just don't know that if his feelings are there yet. I don't think her feelings are there yet either. I think that but if it's like a race to the finish line, and the finish line is being head over heels in love with your partner, I think she's a little bit ahead of him than he is, but I don't think that she's quite there yet either. Yeah, I think so. And also, when I watch them together, they're a little bit on the boring side. So that's my final thought of Stasha and Nate. Thank you so much for joining me in this review. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe, and I'll definitely talk to you later.